All right. Study Monday. It is yet another Monday to study. Hey, Zelin, Atski. Oh, Zelin stole the show. Oh, Jesus. So you guys got a week, approximately, to finish your round 3 entry. It's mad crazy. Time flies. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday. I hope your weekend was good. I tried to stream on Saturday, but my daughter woke up. So I had to stop. So no stream for Bjorn. And that's good, Zealand. It's good to relax. It's good to recharge and be ready for what's coming. The last week of push. Anyways, so today we're gonna do a portrait study. Hey Bruno Romanos, welcome back. Nice to see you here, sir. Bruno Romanos. Right, so there is this photographer who done a series of photographs of homeless people with really like characterful faces, lots of wrinkles and dents and scars and all sorts of things. So I thought, why not do a study? It's really full of character. So I was thinking, one of the complicated things to do this study would be accuracy, obviously. Second would be all the wrinkles, how you would arrange the volume information. Obviously, it's very adjusted value ranges in these photos. They've upped the contrast quite a lot. So there's going to have to be some sort of creative solutions to not having everything just black and white, chessboard, high contrast patterns. So it's going to be, the challenge I think for me is going to be to pick and choose where to put emphasis in the darks, try to capture the personality while not necessarily trying to be a copy. But I am going to try to measure. So that, I think there is also interest, if you squint, there's also interesting light, like how it centers around here. So I'm going to try to kind of deal with that as well. But yeah, if you look at the rest of this photographer's portraits, they're really cool. And if you want to keep doing portrait studies of these faces, I think it would be a good idea. Anyways, let's start. So I'm thinking we don't have that much time left on Unreal Bjorn, right? I don't think we have that much. It is. Hey, Rolomancer, Spectre, how's it going? Hey, Mel. Yeah, like I was saying, for Unreal Bjorn 3, we are on round 3, which is 25. And then after that, we're going to be 12. And after that, 6. And 6 is finale. So it's not going to be that much time left, actually. Yeah, approximately 2 rounds. So that's cool. Fuchsia, how's it going? How are you? So I'm going to spend some time, uh, maybe 5 minutes, so 2 more minutes. Try to kind of find the proportions of his face. Like I said, I don't want to be overly accurate in terms of reproducing the photo, but I do want to try to find the proportions that dictates, right? So that when I do add marks on top of this, I'm not going to spend too much time redrawing the proportions. So the thing I'm looking for here is capturing the essence of his proportions, so that I can let the marks lie. But I'm assuming it's gonna be a lot of adjusting anyways, because I think when I push a little bit further, it's gonna be obvious that I've done some mistakes. But what I want to try to limit is the redoing or go back on your mark, because I find that is the one of the easiest way to ruin energy of a painting, is you kind of overworking it and having to adjust something that you've already established. So I want to try to kind of limit that. Miguel, you haven't even started? Oh man, you need to. How else will you be in the final? Like last year. Homeless Robin Williams? Maybe. The photographer who did these portraits have done a series of portraits of homeless people. Really, really fascinating portraits. There's a wide range of different personalities in that series of portraits. I strongly recommend you looking up the photographer. Some really, really powerful portraits. I just chose one of them, but a lot of them are worthy of looking into, because these are people obviously who has lived interesting life, and they have the traces on their faces to show it. Okay, 5 minutes have passed. I'm gonna spend a little bit more just kind of double checking a little bit. Okay. Hey Pakobler, how's it going? Well, thank you very much for the happy birthday wishes. It was 2 days ago though. But thanks. Alright, so what I want to do now is I'm gonna paint underneath. I'm gonna experiment a little bit, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I want to try to kind of lay down some colors, and we'll see how that's probably quite a cool Yeah, it's more like half purple. Which brush? Not sure. No, this goes too heavy. That one. Bug. Yeah, alright. So I want to try to like put some colors down and see how I can build the image up that way, and while trying to rationalize the colors that's in the reference, but I don't really like the palette as it is in the reference. I think it's a little bit too heavily edited, so I'm gonna take some artistic license based on the colors that's there. Hey, Anvalos. I have done cubist art. I've actually done quite a fun challenge. You know Pablo Picasso, obviously, as you referenced Cubism. He has a painting, a portrait of, what's her name? Nora? And was it Nora? Oh shit, I can't remember. But it's a cubist painting of a woman sitting in a chair with flower shirt. And Pablo Picasso made a cubistic painting out of her, right? A portrait. And it's quite a striking, lovely portrait. And as a hey Gria, how's it going? And as a fun exercise, what I did was I did research who she was, and I reversed engineer his cubist painting into a portrait of her. Miguel, you have to. Yeah, was that taking water over your head? Is that's the saying? um, 1 second. That one. Dora Maar. That's right. That's right. I tried to do a quick Google, but I couldn't find the painting I did. But yeah, so I reversed engineer the cubist painting, and I repainted Dora Maar what she looked like in real life, and I reproduced the scene so that she sits in a room. You know, she has a flower sweatshirt on, or a flower knit, or blouse, or whatever it's called. I don't care. and all that. It was really fun. And then I did the same um, as a practice, where I took another scene that was real and I reversed engineered it into cubism. Or you can't really reverse engineer it into cubism because, you understand. I'm preaching to the choir here. But yeah, I made a cubistic scene out of a real scene as a practice to try to understand, where Pablo Picasso came from and what that's all about. But yeah, it was really good fun. It's a good practice to do, to because Pablo Picasso stylized Dora Maar quite significantly, with cubism, and it was a fun challenge to reverse engineer that and see what Pablo Picasso actually saw. And I don't think a lot of people have done that, in the sense of, I mean, yeah, a lot of people or artists have reproduced famous paintings as photographs, right? They have reenacted the scene with live actors and so on, and props, and made the scene into reality, but not so much cubism. So that was quite a fun challenge to see, like, peek what Pablo Picasso actually saw. What he painted. Hey, French and French guy, Wanamir, how's it going? What up, Wanamir? The main takeaway, from doing that study, it was more of like dissection more than anything. I mean, if I would have continued doing that, I would probably be good at doing cubism. But it wasn't of any interest of mine to learn about cubism. But what I did pick up from it was to peek into a brilliant artist's mind, and then finding what she actually looked like, try to reproduce the angle that Dora Maar is sitting in, all these things, right? So it became just of a study of sorts, of trying to figure out what Picasso actually was looking at. Amir, oh, happy birthday to you. When was your birthday? Because I also had a birthday over the weekend. Which is your date, Amir? 19th? Pacobra, you're also 19th? Oh shit, Pacobra, happy birthday. Yeah, Zialin, me, Amir, Pacobra. Oh, fantastic. Then I will serenade. I will serenade us all in Swedish. Jag må leva, jag må leva, jag må leva ut i 100 år. Ja, visst ska du leva, ja, visst ska du leva. Ja, visst ska du leva ut i 100 år. Ett fyrfaldigt leve för Amir, Zelin, Pacobra och Mig hippipurra. Fantastic. Jag må leva. Yeah, more or less. They say like, I hope you live. I hope you live. I hope you live. I hope you live for another 100 years. That's the Swedish lyrics, more or less. And and more or less, I'm paraphrasing, but more or less, we'll roll you out in a wheelbarrow when you're old. I hope you live for another 100 years. But yeah, but that's the gist of it. I hope you live forever, and we're gonna keep on rolling you out, and we hope you live forever. Okay, I'm halfway approximately. Okay. I would say the blocking in proportions really helped. With a lot more confident brush marks, and if you noticed, I just switched to paint on top of the blockout, so the lines will be somewhat lost. There is some things being lost here, which I don't like, around his eyes here on his left side. It is the lack of light. There is this treatment or this volume here that's very indicative of volume that I feel like I'm losing a bit, so I gotta make sure that that comes across in the there's a hard edge. Anvamalos. Oh yeah, absolutely. Fuchsia. Well, thank you. The colors I've boosted a little bit. They're not really accurate to the reference. But I talked about that at the beginning of the stream. I feel like the reference, they have very stylized the colors quite a lot. They have nuked the range. It's, you know, it's quite edited, but I don't mind it. I just wanted to boost the juices a little bit. Other artists I've studied, some of them which are favorites are Caravaggio and Rembrandt. I've done a lot of Rembrandt and Caravaggio studies, where I've done value composition studies and color studies and light studies, to try to kind of look behind the veil of why Caravaggio could do such fantastic stuff, like art school type studies. and and as far as I know, Caravaggio was the one instructing Rembrandt or teaching Rembrandt light. I might be remembering that wrong, but or maybe they learned in the same school, quote unquote school. But as far as I remember, Caravaggio informed Rembrandt of how to up his game in terms of light. But Rembrandt is definitely one of my favorite painters in terms of light. I'm a big sucker for light and modeling in terms of painting style. But there's a lot of there is a Russian art style which is more or less a flat brush, a rake, and the description of volumes are so pinpoint accurate. It looks like a photo from far away, but it's very modeled and very like, oh, it's just spot on. And whenever I see those, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my style of painting. And I just stand and absorb it. And there's lots to be said about doing studies of famous painters, because their skill level is so high, and they've mastered their medium in terms of who they are and what they do so well, when they're internationally recognized for that one thing that they're doing so well. So it's a good idea to, if you like a painter in a very specific style and you want to pick up bits and pieces of information, try to do studies of those paintings. But the most important part of when you're doing a study is not to copy the painting. Try to do research of how they do their paintings, what medium, do they use a rake or a brush? Do they layer or do they do alla prima? What are they doing to get the look that you're after? And you have to acknowledge that and try to reproduce that same behavior if you want to paint in that style. It's not just enough to copy the painting, because it's the mentality behind the painting style that makes the painting look the way it does. Oh, well, thank you, Foxy. Pokobra, I'm not sure what that Russian style is called. I'll look into it. I can show you tomorrow. Well, yes, in a way, Zialin, but that's not. I mean, I'm talking fine art. Not contemporary illustrators, but definitely in the same wheelhouse. But the fine art Russian artists, they have obviously like in oil and big canvases and all these, but it's definitely, you can see they're probably in the same kind of school system, fine art school system, where they learn about realism and volume and all these things. But I'm glad the Rembrandt influence shines through. One of my early influences, actually, of fine art when I was like 16 was this painter, El Greco. I was always so fascinated about his really weird volumes and his really strange colors. It was fascinating to me, and I was very mesmerized, like as a 16-year-old artist, looking at El Greco's paintings, because he didn't want to do realism, but like he did realism, but also not all in the same, and that kind of started me thinking about oil painting. But I quickly moved on from that. Spectre, not sure. No. I'm going to try to find it, alright, so we can put a cap on this. Actually, how much time do I have left? Probably nothing. Okay, I'm going to paint the remaining time, and then I'm going to find that Russian artist, okay? When you see it in real life, that painting, because of its size, but the way it's modeled, it's just so spot on. I can't help but be mesmerized by it, and it just speaks to me on so many levels. Spectre. Oh, that's really cool. That's nice. I am self-taught, so I don't have that kind of um, background, but it's something that interested me and have made me follow um, those paths, because I want to learn and I want to understand it. And in one of the like recent interviews, I got the question of if I wanted to paint like someone else, or like old masters and so on, but I never really wanted. But what I've always appreciated is their ability to master something. So me being self-taught, I wanted to early days, I wanted to figure out why they are at that level. What skill sets do they have, and what skill sets can they communicate to me? Because I'm not going to be able to go to an art school and have some master teach me, right? So I have to get that knowledge somehow. Oh yeah, and a note, for example, I forgot to mention about doing master studies. For example, this famous American painter that a lot of people love emulating, which of course I can't remember what his name now. Shit. Anyways, the point is not his name. The point is that he painted a painting with loaded brush, and he made a mark, Sargent, yeah. And if he messed up one mark, he would scrap the painting and he would start again. And he would stand and make a mark and a mark and a mark. And the people doing his studies, they don't adapt and they don't copy that behavior. They just try to reproduce the painting with bazillion undo button presses, and they don't load the brush. They don't evaluate the form, how to describe the surface. They're just copying the picture, right? But the idea is when you're doing a study of, let's say, Sargent, is that you need to adapt and adopt to the style in order for you to fully understand what that style is about, what that painting style does to you, right? And you would never do that unless you also understand how he paints, why he paints it, and the balls he had to just scrap a painting and start fresh. And that's why his paintings are that expressive and have that much power, because he would start again. He would scrap, and he would understand that, all right, there's a messed up mark there. If I remove that mark and reapply it, it's not going to have the same veracity, the same direction, the same volume. So start again. And a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't do that. And it's an opportunity lost to learn more in that style, if you want to learn that style, that is. And why else would you do a study of an artist if you don't want to pick that up? Bob Ross. Yeah. Anyways, that Russian artist. Mm. Mm-hmm. Come on, where are you? Mm. I wonder how you would find that. Ah, I hate this. Oh, there. What's his name? The painting that I really liked isn't here, of course. But I'll show it anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But no, this is not a good representation. Is it really him? Maybe not. Damn it. I can't find it. This is a stupid waste of time. Miko Berry, there is a few. Mostly the top section here is the ones I use the most. Usually a lot of expressive marks. Not Ilya Repin, no. Hey, Miss Monster, well, thank you very much. What a surprise. I'll try to find the artist for tomorrow. I think it's kind of a contemporary artist. I'll try to find it. I'll try to find it for tomorrow. I can't just sit and surf and have you look at nothing. But yeah, we'll try to find. Let's find. Let's raid. Let's raid Max. Welcome to the end. Miss Monster, the stream went well. We did a study of this gentleman over here. Apostrophe ref if you want to join the fun. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Have a good one. I'm going to do the outro and then take you to the raid. So good night. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.